How's that? Somebody who's connected with some funny stuff. That's kind of like that.
7 lollies and 1 pig.
It's on. You guys hear me?
Moshe's on the phone with Rudy trying to get the connection. Muted?
You hear me?
Yeah. We hear the Rebbe.
Good. Okay. Okay, so it starts off with Shoftim. So the Medrash says, no, that Shlomo Melech had 6 steps going up this throne. And at each step they would announce the Psukim. You know, it'd start off with Sat Mishpat. What do you call it? That's one. L'Sikat Shechad. Tzedek Tilbei. And then Vaysheva. L'Sot Lamatzeva. And then L'Sot Shalom Kel Sheva Sen. Those are things we'll discuss each one in a minute. But one thing you see from the Psukim themselves, there's a concept word of tzedek in there. Tzedek Tilbei, right? Is in the Shoftim on Mishpat Tzedek. I see it's a word tzedek. So I remember once the years of the Shivas that sound. Why you used to give out a lot of letters and stuff like that to them, they were going to collect. So it says in the Torah, Stoko Mishpat. If you start with Stoko, you may have a chance of doing Mishpat. If you start with Mishpat, you'll never get to do Stoko. In other words, should I give? How can I tell? I don't know for sure. I'm just that you'll never do Stoko. So therefore, so I thought about that. And thought about what is the tachlis takir of Mishpat. We have to find that the big taina on Yerushalayim and the Fulman was Amonel and Yossi. You went down them right, didn't treat them right. You think they're money, all these, we seem to them pushed around by pressure, sack your opponent, with the these things that I have, and because of that, you didn't get mishpat. Goes back in Parshas Seforim, it said over there, mishpat or kimud. It also says over there, sack your opponent, what he called in the Katzel Kagodil, he shouldn't be afraid. So, and then it says of the mishpat or kimud. Rashi touches up over there, a mishpat or kimud, whatever you pass in Shaloi Kidin, you're putting on me the din that I have to fix it up. So therefore, what's wrong with by passing the wrong way? If I pass the wrong way, God's going to take care of it anyway. So what difference it makes? What do you need me for? Otherwise, you have to teach the right thing. Okay, that makes sense. But then I thought maybe not. Maybe there's something more to it because of this thing. That the Indian is really mishpat is to make shalom ba'ilot. In other words, if people realize what's right and what's wrong and whatever it is, then it's going to be shalom. If everyone decides whatever he wants to decide, just like this man I said, you can shoplift in any store, so you can't do too much about it. So the stores falls up and they move. I mean, you're not accomplishing anything in the same thing. It's no shalom. No shalom. So therefore, then, so I was thinking, maybe be honest in Choshev Ish, but the din is you have to always try to do pshara. If you don't go to Paskin Din, tells the Chivan, the Dayanim, they go and pass psharas. Psharas, that's not right. I mean, someone's losing on pshara. It's not fair. We should Paskin Din. No, that's not supposed to Paskin Din. So I assume it was brought down in the others that a guy that doesn't want to pass in the South, in the Eva, the sinner, people don't hate him. Why? Because the loser is going to be angry no matter what, right? Because obviously he thought he was right, and now the best and passes like they probably brought the best. They probably put the best in the cook. The best in this and that. He's angry. You made an enemy, right? Hopefully he'll realize in time, but most of the time they're angry. That's how Absalom was able to steal the Malchus. They think that that if you shmei the people, they'll follow you. So the thing is, I was thinking that the Reuven tells you reality. I take care of everyone. No one's losing anything. You got to teach the youngest, but I want you to have a pshara, because that way the people are able to accept the psak. And if they made it themselves, I would say, if I give you a case, I'll give you a motion. The thing is, if a guy was a renter, the guy took a lease on an apartment. It was $1 a month, right? 12 months a year. And it's a leap year, it's a leap year, it's next year. So it's going to be 13 months. So the renter, the guy who rents it, he says, I get an extra month free, because he's told me $12 a month, $12 a year, man. And the rentor, that's the balabos, he says, no, you owe me 13 this month, you got $1 a month. So therefore you owe me 13, right? So the din is, obviously you can't prove it, because each one could have understood it the way he says. We don't know for sure what that is if we weren't there, only these two guys. And he says this, and we all agree to what took place, so who's right? So the din is the most ones, right? That if he didn't live there yet, so he has to pay the $13th. If he lived there already and the guy has the money on, it says he's the Muslim. So the question goes after the Muslim. But in reality, that doesn't make you right because you're the Muslim. The Muslim just means that you have no care to take it away from you. But that doesn't mean that you're really right. So if you want to make it sure, what do? Yes, each one. If you believe that the guy against you thought the other way. Yeah, I can hear he believes that. I didn't mean that, but he believes that. I can hear. And we can ask the same thing. So let's do it. Right? So both of them agree to that. Now they show him. The guy, he's not angry at the guy anymore. He's not angry at the thing. You know what the thing? We all understand we could have misunderstood. We could have this. Okay, so I wasn't clear. It's my fault. It's $50. I was supposed to $50. What am I going to do? And that's the way it is. So that's what I'm saying. So it could be done. So I think you get more tzedek that way. Another point that that people feel secure in the system, that they're willing to go with it and they feel good with it. So that's the ikazach with the one out of it. It's not the whether loss of money or not. That's all beneficial. It doesn't have anything with anything. Okay, so let's go with the thing. What's that? So Lesate mishpot is obvious. Lesake ponim is also an obvious thing. And Lesikach shechet, right? And this, and they say we even shechet to paskin. Then he said, I wasn't ready to do it, but you're trying to bribe me. It's a bribery up to the guy. Tomorrow came down a case of Shmuel. He was going to paskin. He's a Kohen, and then they brought him to him. And the guy says, I'm coming to be done by you anyways. I think I'll give you the thing. He said, no, that you gave me, no, it's mine. The tomb is the Kohen's. But you didn't give me anything, right? But you chose me. So I still feel I should go across our case to you for doing that. So I don't want to pass him. And he says afterwards, he was walking back and forth while he didn't pass him the Shiloh. And he was thinking, and he didn't take the tomb. Didn't take it either. And it says, and Afal came because he wanted to give it to me. I was thinking, why doesn't he say this? Why doesn't he say that? And he's looking for the answers for the guy that he should have done it. Why? Because I feel for the guy, I stick on so I think that you should see how much close is supposed to feel. That's what the guy wanted to give it to you. Okay. And then Tzedek, all these were good. And then they say, what is that got to do with justice? The other was had to do with justice. So we're talking, the Melech before he's going to sit down and pass and mete out justice. So, okay, so we're warning him or whatever it is, what he did with this thing. There is in there, but what is Leisat Mishpat? So I said that what I think it is sometimes an asherah, what's an asherah? Asherah is a beautiful tree. It's used to try this over, right? Now sometimes you see a guy, you go to an actor, and one attack to the judge. So who do we look for? Guys more dignified. It is, right? Whether you know something or not, that's irrelevant. We're not talking about it. You should look the part. That's the ikar. So he says, don't play that. That's not the point of justice. Justice is what the guy knows, not what he looks like. Then he told him, so what's got that? So here's a Rashi here. You have to understand. He says Rashi that the Rishon hates him. I'm not saying it now, so he loved it in the Mayovas. And that I also don't understand. He's saying, what do I mean? What's the difference between a Matzeva and a Mizbeach? A Matzeva is a single stone. A Mizbeach is made many stones. So when you're trying to be the Korban like Kodesh Baruch Hu, you're supposed to say, I want to keep growing. So I want to be able to add more stones. So therefore, you can always add. So that's Mizbeach. Matzeva means this is it. I'm not going any further. I don't have to go any further. I want to go. That's a puzzle. I don't want such a goal. That's not it. So it shouldn't have been good in the Mayovas either. That's the philosophy of it, not have to mean it. And this is, by the way, I found out it's a kosher to put the little stones on a matzev. That's what I have a matzev by that guy. Put a matzev. That's it. So, you can't go on anymore. You can't add anymore. So what's the little stones? So we put them. So, and I found that it's a kosher minute. That's not just some guys made some kind of a million. The piece that was saying that you can't add to yourself, but we can add for you. We can lead by going your ways, by following your Torah, saying over your Torah for sure, because that's your source of business together. Say, what does it need that for? Why don't you just say over something? And he gets schar for it. He taught yourself. He's not my book. He can't get schar anymore, no matter what you did down here. But source of business together, his body is still here. And his body moves. I'm open up the kettle and say, let me see if it's smooth. See if it's a little smooth. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't ask you. But the Maisa, you need the passion to create things. So even though he's dead, but the Maisa is dead. And death, the Maisa, is not so pushy either. So shall me. Is as long as there's a remembrance of a person in this world, and that's one of the reasons you name buildings after people or make things after people, is that there's a remembrance of them. What's the memory do? Memory accomplishes that you call machlekes, whether it's the aftertaste of good wine or the after taste of good wine. I don't know the difference, believe me. But whatever it is, that's a question. How much Olam Hazeh is there still to a person who's remembered in this world? Person they completely forgot about, it's not negated anything. He's gone. Well, but someone that's still remembered in this world has that much of Hanoyah of Olam Hazeh. I said, what's Hanoyah? I can't tell you. I can't measure it. I do remember chocolate as a kid. There was one company that the taste lasted longer. And afterwards, he wanted to eat that chocolate, not the other chocolate. It could be, so there's some kind of a thing. But whatever it is, it's some kind, you still have some kind of shaykhs, so it could be, as long as that exists, so this source of bedness be together.
What's the mile of feeling the Elam Hazeh?
Sorry?
What's the mile of tasting the Elam Hazeh when I'm there? What do I gain by tasting the Elam Hazeh when I'm already there?
Oh, yeah, because it adds up more for you up there. Yes, because you only can claim schar here. You can't keep claiming upstairs. That's why you have to have something here. Your body. That's why I said it's supposed to be be careful. You need that. That's the thing over there. And it seems that what it really can accomplish is what I think anyway. The answer to the Molus. Rabbi Yochanan, he was Rabbi Yochanan, yeah, that said, I'm going to be Mal Elisha ben Abur. And went over there and smoke stuff coming out of his kebab, whatever it is. How do you do it? So I think by saying over his tail. Kept saying over enough tail, he keeps getting muscha, somewhere along the line, you want to piss the point of the ancient. You get more mitzvahs and stuff like that. You can't do it yourself, I have to do it for you. And I think that's why David HaMelech, and with the Shayla, we learn chatting in the Mother over there, is that the Malchus-based David is the extermination because he wanted not to forget the Torah of Deyagademi. The Torah of Deyagademi is that he was the Shayla. So therefore he was able to give you the worth of every mitzvah I say which one is more important than the other one. We don't know it. And is it important for halacha l'maaseh? Probably not, because as I said, there's never shaykh l'maaseh because If I am doing a mitzvah, it's a mitzvah, it doesn't make a difference if it's a smaller mitzvah or not a small mitzvah. Even if you're basic only in a shireh mitzvah, you also put it in a mitzvah. An ema viran al mitzvah is also the same thing. Tell me when you start off, I have a choice, mamish, two mamish in front of me, and then I can pick the bigger one. And I tell you, is again, as far as child doesn't make a difference because the thing is, the guy has not sure to do a mitzvah and he's nenas, so he gets full schar. Here also the same thing. I had kavon, I want to do the more choshev one, and the Torah tells me I'm not allowed to, so therefore I'm going to get the schar, the more choshev one, because I'm not going to do it without nenas. So you're not going. So for practical purpose, I don't know what difference it makes. Which S is bigger, but I'm just saying. But I guess maybe for Libra for sure it makes a difference, and then understanding. So I said so. In time, he would have gotten Elam Abba because he asked him 2 questions. He said, "Do you want to get Elam Abba?" He told him no. He said, "Do you want to just tell the 3 forgotten?" He said, "Yeah." So I'm saying, what's one told in the other one? Because if you have his tailor, you still remember, he'll get a lamab somewhere along the line. And therefore, that's what he didn't want. So it was for just tailor that the problem is. So what's the thing? So we didn't find a matzeva or anybody else. We find by Yankee that when after he woke up, he took the stone that he was sleeping on, he made a matzeva and he put on a cheddar. And then later on, he came to convention, told him, I want to go do Mekayim the Neder now. So first he brought Korbanis on a Mizbeach, and then it says he took the Matzeva and he put oil and put yayin on it, whatever it is. What's going on over there? It's very simple. We're talking about the Gashmis over there. Gashmis, there should be a limit. Ruchnis, there's no limit. That's a Mizbeach. The thing there. But Gashmis, what did the Beishim prove to Yaakov? Yaakov, for the first 14 years he was in Shem Baby, he didn't go to sleep. Right? Didn't mean he didn't sleep because he has to sleep. He can't go 3 days without sleeping. As Gemara says, that makes it negative. Go 3 days without sleeping, you give him mouthpiece right away. Don't bother waiting. It's impossible. So obviously he went to sleep. What do you mean went to sleep? No, so he was by the Gemara the whole time. And 14 years in I don't know how much longer he did, but it's like he was fighting sleep for 14 years. And you don't know what he got. Beishim told him he did a nest for him. He came, he fell asleep. Where'd you fall asleep? Right? I'm telling you that's part of life. Life is that you're supposed to use the gashmis to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I made you sleep to give you keach. And that's use that keach to serve you. Don't go to sleep and say, oh, another 20 minutes and it's going to feel good or something like that. No. It's enough. Jump up. Time to daven. Whatever it is you got to do. Okay, but I had my sleep. So that's a whole lifetime. That's not a thing just in shit. So therefore, I have to train myself now. It's not when I'm in yeshiva, I'm told to do ruchnius and the rest of them. The first thing I do when I leave yeshiva is I go to sleep. That's not the way the world goes. That's not the way it should go. You're supposed to sleep at yeshiva, you're supposed to sleep and go home. You're supposed to sleep as much as you need to serve me. That's what the top is coming to sleep. That's the case. So therefore, there's a limit to it. I can't. It's not indefinite. The thing is so therefore, you made it on a table, which is oil. Oil is the biggest gashmi you can find. The Russian fat, where's the fat? Where's the extra? Where's the thing that's the gashmi? That's the fat. Besides, you can actually do oil. You can spread it on your body. You can light a candle. You can light lights with it, and you cook with it. So it's a tremendous gashmi. Many things with it. And the yain was the only thing that I think that was the yain over there by Yaakov, because he wants you to enjoy it, enjoy this concept He took a hashkafa. I want you to feel that it's the right thing to do. Not that I feel so good I have to do this, I'd love to have the little mazel and stuff like that. No, I want to actually enjoy it. What I have. That's the way she wants to be. That's why you bring it. So that's Matseva. So there, again, we don't want to die in, that's going to see, doesn't want to grow. That we don't want. And the next one is what Sizbal Shalom Kefal said at the moon, said even if you have a big Talmud Chacham, but if he has the slightest moon, that's going to make it resilient to him, or to the Torah, to what it's possible. You can't be the guy. The guy you got to have is a guy without a moon. No such thing as a moon. You can't say, it's only a little moon, it's a big deal. There's no such thing. Dealing with a dying, he's got to be perfect. What do you call it? It's a pillar ploy that a person does it, right? Especially the Zokamam himself knows the Einish. That's going to be it. So, how do you do it? For all practical purposes, we don't know of anyone except Rabbi Lezer, which is a pillar ploy again. Like Kinu, that's the thing there, but don't hold on, and that'll be a Zokamam. That's interesting, Look at the debate in the Gemara. All it says over there is they were fighting. If the halacha is like me, it should be like this. The whole Bezin voted against him. But he still said, it's like me, it should go upwards, the bet falls, or they split, it should go down, fall down, whatever it is. And Yeshua was always the one that stopped everything, what do you call it, with the Teva Bashmaim, right? But no one said, hey, you was Zokamam, but they put him a cheder. Because he was Zokamam. They put him a cheder. And then this died not fair, except that you're not allowed to buy it. So Yeshua ran right after the Oven and he said, Hitar aned, Hitar aned. He took my effort. Of the Lamaise, so I don't understand this. I don't know. I have no answer. But a normal person, why is the point of telling this? It says, like, what's the Yitzhak? I'm not a Zokamam. I have no shepherd being a Zokamam. So what do you want with this? Okay. So I was thinking, we all do have that problem. What is it? Besides one thing you can say that Mesilas Nefesh for what's right. So in other words, I hold this what the Reuven meant, and Mesilas Nefesh for it. And the fact that I'm going to die, but on my side, I think this is right. I can't just be murdered. Just let you. It's sort of what do you call it? It's a medrash in that Stocky and Chesed voted for that God should create a person, and Emes and Shalom voted against it. Right. So what is it? Was 2-2. So the Reuven took Emes and threw him down. So the Shaila is would have done the same if he threw Shalom down. Something like that. So I was getting 2-1. You're getting the same 2-1. So they say, no, if he would have thrown Shalom down, so what would have been? Can I get Emes? I don't care how many people you got. This is Emes. What you tell me? You're not going to make it different Emes just because the other got outvoted. Therefore, the thing is, there isn't, like I say, Emes. And then the second thing besides Shalom, you're going to fight. What are you going to fight about? and think them saying small two guys against you. You think, sure, okay, I'll give it. And something like that. So I would do the other way. But I'm just saying, but this was that you can't slug up Emes. So there is such a thing. But I think there's another thing. There's also, I think, the way you see the noise, like it's like that man is also to a point, there's a pride. You know, you're going to tell me I'm wrong. I'm a big problem talking to all you guys over here. And you're outvoting me, big deal. So you're outvoting me, who cares? You know, I'm right. And there are people that you know, just when fun and nervous, I don't remember where it is. You say, I talk about the guy, but I don't remember. It says over there, the guy, or something that don't play a cup. If you just say you're wrong, which you know you're wrong, just say moed awareness, and say I can not be moed awareness and get out of this. How can I do it? Yeah, but there's a ritual, there's a rashbun, there's this and that, and it's talking to the kid's head. He doesn't know like the share so okay, I didn't show up to every, I don't know. You won't get wrong. So but anything come, you don't try to do. But there is that yitzhak that I don't want to be wrong. That's the thing. In of a melech. Why do we need king for any government? Why don't we just start with me? Because tomorrow somebody wants to rob me, want to pay me. The guys don't want to cooperate with the guys around. We got to make guys episatikum, and nobody wants to cooperate. Right? So all of these problems need the government. Need somebody that can be kosher and to do things. And therefore, originally the Malachim, first among equals, which you have, I say Pari. Pari was that he was a Melech Mitzrayim, but he was, they were equals. When Yosef took over and became 100 years, all of a sudden he owned Mitzrayim. And he bought Mitzrayim with all the avodim. You belong to me. I am Mitzrayim. There is no other Mitzrayim except me. I'm the only one. I own everything. So therefore, there's an Indian, there's two different types of king. One is on everything. Second is that you made it. You made me, elected me, because like in America, because we need someone to lead the government. We need somebody. So, you're not in office, you're going. If you're in office, you're the king. We have to give you powers that you're able to enforce your laws and stuff like that. So therefore, we understand the analysis. So what do you mean, Tichol HaGoyim? There's also another problem that we have, that we want to go into the government in a way. It takes all the blame off me. Say nobody likes to get blamed for anything. So I'm not making panos. It's not my fault. It's Biden's fault. He did something there. The inflation is his. I can't make him give up. What do you want from me? It's always the daily. That's one thing. That's Shmuel Hanavi told years in Parshas. So he tells them, he says, he's giving them Musa, and he tells them at the end of the thing, in other words, what do you want a king for? You want a king to say, to blame him for everything, right? It's his fault, it's his fault. Remember, it's you and God. Nobody else is involved here. Not if you forget about it, so far it says you need to feed a melech. The bad melech, you get on. even though you're a good person. If it's a good mellow, because he has the responsibility of everything, so therefore you get judged for him. But in Emerson, Hashem Lekechem Al-Kechem. God's your God, is your king. So if you have a bad time, you go to the Benishon. What are you going to talk about? People make money when in depression too. I mean, they just have to know how to do it, or whatever it is. Or go to the Benishon, or it's not left to, so go to the Benishon. Where did it came from? But there's also an Indian which Asa didn't have, which is the nobility. They didn't have, a nobility. The first 8 kings of that in the Chumash, so you see the fish are not one son after the other. They were just what they call the emperors of Rome were not sons. It's a little different. They were sons, not my son. I appointed a son. In other words, I thought it was my nice guy best. He became my son. But it was like he did. But you never even have, and when he finishes, I don't have to live up to anything, whatever it is. There's an Indian that having no belief. That's someone's malchus, I guess, or something like that. Anyway, so what did they tell? So, now what I have, so there's one condition is the bench won't pick out a king for you. But God's going to pick him. You're not picking him at all. So that's it. There's no more kings. There are some, a king from Malchus based David, they were able to pick. Yeshua had 3 of the sons became kings and stuff like that. The Malchus, the people chose this guy is to be king. There is such a concept, but they have to be from Malchus. It's not just they can make up any king, and that's so true. But there's another thing. There's a din of Mori Baruch, where a person who has any power over a yid cannot be a ger. It has to be b'ker b'achecha. What does that mean? The commissioner, the commissioner, the inspector cannot be a ger. If he were from Yalsa, so our Muslim. Why? Because he can shut it off. And he can't have that power over you. And therefore, we got a dayan. It's not so pushing. It can be a dayan. A rav, it can be a rav. Like chalitza, it can be only forgiven. So it could be whatever it is. Maybe you can lose with that dayan. It's forgiven also because it's allowed. But can I get a yid where you should be till you can't do it? Okay, whatever that means. Okay. I thought the Bene Gilbus could be. That's the thing, even big king. Because Naira minus. Right? It's the mother of Chava. So you have the king. As his mother's viewer. So definitely. Okay, so one thing he's not allowed to have, though, is a lot of horses. Now, horses, what do you mean can't have a big deal about horses? Says, why? Why? Because the way Yoshir is so Mitzrayim, the horses come from Mitzrayim. Okay, I assume these the Arabians. I don't assume every horse in the world. English horses also. But those are like those war horses, like you rode on it, that it stood fast in the battle. But the horses, the fast ones, the cavalry, like the one in charge, and the thing there and get you before you can think and something like that, you need fast horses. So it's more the Arabians and stuff like that. You see, Turkey, all the stories, how they gave a lot of things to everybody. Gave my body the shrochis, right? Kesed, Zor, all that stuff. No horses. See? No horses. And in all of them, you don't find that they gave any horses. By the time they went down to the time they went on mules. What do you want your mules for? They got horses. Because the pack animals they don't have. Here's a lot. Right? Now there's some spelling, and it says, when he came like several reasons, I have a time movie. Be my neck, COVID, by Mikne, by Kesed, by Zov, no horses. They didn't give away horses. Horses was the secret weapon of the Mitzrayim, and that's why they had the Rechev Polish by Chris Yamsuf there, whatever it's horses. And you got faster, what do you call it, or whatever it is. I'm saying that's big horse. So you say, so if that's the case, and you finally get horses, or maybe you're willing to sell horses, or whatever it is there, so you're going to buy some. So what are you going to be Mitzrayim for? You need 1,000 horses, you buy 1,000 horses, so it's not good. But you have a stud farm or something like that. I collect horses, I collect racing cars, I collect riding goods. You do that, so all of a sudden a mini industry arises. Think about it. If a melech will decide he's collecting pearls, how many sub-businesses would there be already of selling pearls that maybe you'll buy from him? Stuff like this will hire, but diamonds will hire this and get from farms, or whatever you have to do there for it, because you want to be in on the thing. You'll have people going back to Mitzrayim, simple to breed or research or whatever it is, until they get the right horses. So you're going to bring back the human Mitzrayim. So reality is just, it's not an industry. Whatever you need, you go get buy. That's it. Finished. I was in the cavalry. Yabalei Noshim is exactly what it means. Is machlekes in the Gemara. You marry the wrong kind, one's enough to play Yaakov. And if you marry the right kind, nobody should play Yaakov. And yet we pass him that 18 is the most, even if the whole Kabbalah, and enough of became, you can't have more than 18. So somehow, I don't know, I was thinking, I don't know if I'm missing is in I always thought about this, that Shlomo Melech to write Shir Hashir. Why? He understood beauty. He had 1,000 wives. He understood beauty. But he had no relationship with a woman. You have 1,000 wives, you don't have a relationship with anyone else. If you go me tonight to the thing, who's picking me up, who's doing this, I don't know what he's doing, period. So that's thankful. But he knew beauty because he saw different people and he knew what. So when he touched up, whatever it is, whatever it is, he's able to compare something that I can't. I don't have that ED. I only had one wife and I have no EDs. So therefore, but he had. But I definitely had a bigger relationship with my wife than he does. So I'm going to say, somehow the Melech still has one wife that's the main queen. Like as Esther was in the end, but Vashti was the Chatchila, or by Achashverosh. Now, he had a lot of wives. The Beis HaNoshim, that Sas guy, he had plenty of women. He had no wives. So he had one wife. And I said they all had to do with his wife properly. And it's all called his wife. It's like Shlomo Melech. Like this, if you have 18 wives, it's a harem. It's not a wife. It's not a wedding relationship. You find an interesting thing by David Amalek. That's when you have the Rosh Hashanah, you have 6 wives at the time, And the Rebbe says, if it's bothering you, whatever it is, you shall b'fahena. You get out 80. So it counts in children in heaven. And it says one of them was the last one, the sixth one was the Egla Ishta. So Rashi says Egla, that's Michal Basho. And why is it called? It's the only one that's called Ishta. All the rest were married, but they're not his wife. He only had one wife, Michal. And see that he chose, no political reasons, no typical reasons, no nothing. This is my wife. And that was Michal Basho. So there is a relationship that you have with her, and then she when she teased him or whatever, or she made fun of him or whatever it is, they would do dancing in front of the Aehron and stuff like that, and the loser. So that after, so she had no children until she died. So it said the child she had the day she died of a childbirth. That was insane there, but she didn't have any sons until that. Now, so there was like, he came home to her. I say it's mashma. Came home to his wife. He didn't come to the other ones. The other ones, whatever he had, whatever political reasons they were. I don't know. Reuven Feinstein is also something. He has to be totally close. I think on the money, I gave a Moshe was 2 different times for Paul Bloomberg. One was that money is Ma'acheres Dagda Shevadam. It says 3 things in Ma'acheres Dagda Shevadam: Dira Noya, Isha Noya, and money. And he says, what do you use Ma'acheres Dagda Shevadam? They say, oh, the Rabbi Natan. He had a short tashi. He would take out, he was a rich man, whatever rich means, and took out gold coins and he would play with them. And at that, he would come with an answer. What is that? Answer playing around. So I want to explain to you what break type means. A guy's hungry, right? Always think about his breakfast, lunch, supper, whatever he's up to. He's hungry. A guy does not hungry, he can think about the world, what needs tikkun. If I have only a few bucks, so maybe I think about what I can do in the house, or maybe not even that, what I can buy for supper. If I'm a richer person, I will think of like that. So it happened that Bloomberg wanted to fix over Gracie Mansion. That's where the mayor lives. So he applied to the city council for funds. That's what they have to do. And they turned him down. So he took his own money and he fixed it over himself. I don't need you guys. I got all the money in the world anyway. I'm a billionaire. So I don't need you. So on one hand, it shows you about Chovis Hadas. If I have plans the same day. You don't want to give it to me, I still do my plans. I don't need you guys. Okay. At the same time, it also means I don't need you. And a melech should be needed. In other words, he shouldn't be able to say, I don't need the people. I'm saying, but you need the people. And therefore, you need the people. That's what it says. You can't go away from the people. You can't go away from the people, so you can't be that rich. But you got all of a sudden, I don't need anybody. I need people. It's one thing. We have it also by the Indian of Guy Vistamazek, that when the Bensham told the David, it's a show, one show, maybe that would be Machin, many David can be one show, a few shows. what do you call it? Shol was you. That's what it is. Why? Because he need a moon. Shol had no moon in his yichus. So he had no moon in his yichus. He would say, no, I don't need this job anymore. No, it's too much of a headache. I'm out of here. Right? Or the guy who needs the job, he can't go away. So therefore, you have Musa. You have to have a schmutz behind you. You're not going anywhere. You're staying around, and you can't say, you guys, I don't need a headache, because they always tell you, look at yourself. You know better than all of us. And he had the whatever moment, of course, you want to call it, the moment with Risha and his mother, where it was whatever the particular time was, that he had a shtickle mum, that mum was enough that, you're not perfect anymore. Right before Chamishim, talks about when come to the soil, you're not allowed to learn from the goyim, and what they do, when they beat the beish, cursing summon, and only in Nachish, Mikashit, Chayvachava, which are like Vidalim, those Lamesid. Why? Because they want to learn the future. So they're trying to figure out different methods, whatever it is, there's some members to it. And say, as Hashem calls Seila, that's why they lost the war, and he got rid of them. There's no mitzvah of magic or anything else in there that the Russian. So why would he chase that? Nothing to do with them. So the answer the saying, who says there's only 7 mitzvahs? Okay, that's what we play the Kugel. As far as I know, I was taught that way. Said so. No more. But I see, they see, I know it's time mitzvah on earth, that's all I was taught. So the thing would chill like this. Eretz Yisrael is God. Now, whatever the Ashreis Ashchina has nothing to do with something he made now. He's thinking from the evolution on, that's the place he made Odom from. That was where the Korbanos were made, in the Beis HaMikdash, by Yodom and Cain and Heva, and all these things. And whatever it is, that was the right place. Shame on here, Shalom, whatever it is. So, it was the whole place all the time. It had nothing to do with giving it to us. We gave it to it because it wants us in his land, but that's with nothing. So the Canaanim lived there in God's land. So the time is, and what did they do when they wanted to know something? They didn't go to God. They didn't go to his Navi or something like that. They went to all these boogeymen and stuff like that. So he says there, that's why I don't chase them. Not that they're ancient. They don't belong in my land. They're insulting me. No, in my land, you deal with me. You want to deal with magicians, you go somewhere else. That's the point. That's why he kicked them out. Yeah, so there's a thing. So the Zayimitz is still saying that. Come in here and share with you. This is a big say, but I'm not going to go into the relationship with Shita on genetics and all these things and whatever it is. It's not negated now. But it's kedai to know Rashi, it's kedai to know Rambana, the Malbim, and push the Seforim, which is what basically what they call me. You can see this. So Rashi just takes the truth. His halachi maybe tmimus, go with him and like with trust. It's a tzapeloi and hope to him. And the way don't look for the future. Ella call my shibol yover whatever happens to you, kabul tmimus accepted. The oz and then tm Amoy Ubechelkoi. Then you'll be his nation and his people. If you trust in him, that's what's going to be. If you start to figure out how do I get out of this system, then all of a sudden you're not his people anymore. The Bible says that to this degree, that if you do that, you lose Hashgacha Pratis. That's I read it really. You lose Hashgacha Pratis. That's if you provide it. And I see it in medical things, Mamish Beholia. And I think this is us. All medicine, psychology, is taught according to Goyim, not according to Jews. They take in what are the odds of this and this machla happening to this and this person, right? I look at his genes, I look at his this, and he has this chesaron, this and that, and Mendel, 1 out of 4, that's what's called a big. Whatever it is, that's Mendel's law of genetics, okay. But then there's a work punct like that, there's a work punct like that, but I don't know exactly how it works. But when I learned genetics in school, so they made 16 boxes and you fixed out the 40 and you go with that, how many are carriers and how many are going to be what do you think? But it's okay, there's all kinds of things. But it's from the Welt, right? And therefore they tell you, the doctor will tell you, and this could be shot in the Ramban also, this I'm not telling you for sure. When the Ramban says it's thing like this, if one of these, he has the kasha, some of these things are chokhmas, not just magic. So if the chokhmas, what's the yisa? He says, Zafar became a yid's not allowed to do it. And one of them is astrology. And he gives this cheshbon how astrologists know. I don't understand it, doesn't make a difference. It says with my wolf and this and that, but there's a way that somehow an astrologist knows what he's talking about. He tells you that you're going to die because you saw it. You're supposed to say it doesn't apply to me. I said, that's how that. He says, if you don't say it. It doesn't apply to me. It applies, I have a short process. So when do these things apply? So does it apply by numbers of medicine too? You know, you got a 98% chance of life, of death, 2%. So or name, I have a short process. I have no shaykhs to the 2%. That's the thing. So I say it could be that it doesn't apply to me. That is because the numbers are not from me, it's from the world. By me, I was told you 100 can die, all of us can die, none of us can die. Because we have a shkoch practice. Whatever we hear what a person cheshbon is with the Rebbeinu Shalom, that's what's going to happen to us. But the ones that daven of us, the trials, the numbers of the world, that's the thing. And therefore, even in psychology, this is where I've seen this, where they tell you, I had this amazing Shalom bias case, where a person actually told me that my psychotherapist, whatever it's called, psychotherapist, told me that my husband's going to kill me. They obviously had Shalom bias problems. And she was going to this thing. I said, did your husband ever lift his hand to you? Never. And he yell at you, stuff like that. No, he just freezes me out and he gets upset and stuff like that. I said, how long are you married? 20-something odd years. Grandparents. I said, are you afraid? No. I said, what they told me, what the woman told me. Kids. But that's your story, because this syndrome or whatever you have, that you have this way of reacting to certain things, you can be a ritzeach and it can kill you. Who gone? It's for what are you talking about? Good, you should have shown bias that you should have. I'm not arguing with that. But what has it got to do with the fear? And that's the way they go with this whole business here. Yes, so I'm saying, so a lot of the times, all this, I'm dealing with God. I don't know what the things are. Obviously, we have to mishtable, we have to do what the doctor say, because that's the way the Rebbeinu put the world away. He told us we have to mishtable. Although, past mishtable, it's not them. And the Shiri said, on things where I've done mishtable already, and it's not helped, I go tell him in my tefillas, I put it this point, to say to him that I did the ishtablis, it didn't help. I'm coming to the Reuven Feinstein, and then I need you. I'm not talking about the doctors anymore. I'll finish with them. Nothing more to do, and then I give the bracha. Now, the shaila is, why is there a chamishi in the middle of the parsha? One time there's two parts. The funny thing is, all these nations, they go to these guys. He's put up for you to go to. Rashi says, or the Orbitum. You know another? You know the Orbitum? So we go out to magicians. We go to them. We don't have them anymore. So obviously, that's not Negea. So what are you talking about? There's two different Parshas here. Until Chamishi, the first psuk about pride. Talk about the Yochid. The Yochid never goes to another, he doesn't go to anything. He goes to Torah. I deal with God, and that was what I deal with. The second time is talk about the country. Klal Yisrael at times have to go and do things, put them as a zakon. I'll give you a motion. David HaMelech was fighting in Shoftim, right? For the kingdom. So they didn't fight, they never get a war together. Nobody wanted to fight with anybody. So finally, Aahron gets up with this idea. We'll put 24 guys against 24 guys. And like the baseball bat, if the guy hits the pitch, hits the batter, those what do you call dugouts empty out. Everybody went down. You hit my friend, we'll have a good fight. So that's how you got to fight, right? You get two guys, and then you hit my friends, and then we have to fight everybody. So this way, they all killed each other, and then they killed whatever it was. And David loses 19 people, they lose 300 something, and that's the last war. Only war. They had a actual physical. There was political war, meaning that there was who's on my side, who's on your side, this and that they kept changing sides. But as far as an actual battle will won, it's dangerous. Having the king is only a mitzvah saseh. A mitzvah saseh is not teichet pikuach nefesh. And therefore, I'm not going to talk to you. You want to be king? Count off 20 steps, turn around and fight, and when the guy's left standing up, they will be king. So what do you want from me? I don't have to go out and put myself to fight for you. And the same thing goes for war. You're going to war. Why are you going to war? It's dangerous. No, I don't have to go to war. I have a bus, I'll be. So he said, we don't have them anymore. So they go to war. Which wars do we go to? I mean, else you saw go to war also. What do you go to war? Defensive war. They're attacking us. They want to kill us. Of course you're going to go to war. But we don't attack them. And the only battle, he says, he finds is by Shani. That is the real war. Don't get us head them. And he says, he must have been that over there, it was beside the defense against the Greeks, against the Romans, we find wars. But against the Yin of getting more territory and stuff, we're only with that. He said it must have been a preemptive war that they felt that they're going to be attacked, so they did it, like the 67 war. הסוגיה חיבור. We learn from there. Decided to steal his way of moving over the boundaries, in which I didn't steal anything in reality. This is to learn to steal where it was. There's a cognitive and zealous. I can't take it and move it. So, unless I need the earth or something. But otherwise, God is not zealous. It stays with it. Open up, there's an Isa of food. But we take it, I can't open up a business next to your business. As I said, that really depended on the people and they dealt with it. Because I remember that all the stores of one kind on the east side were all on one block. In other words, the electronic stores were all on Canal Street, a little bit up on Essex Street. And that was it. And all the matzah bakeries on Suffolk Street. The tinsmiths were underneath them. Suffolk Street, the butchers, I'm sorry. Well, the butchers lined up on one block. The benches, in the sense, the customers, not the customer. So maybe next to you, it doesn't make a difference. The bench puts you okay, go down. This guy's shop, we're all about the same price, all the same things, not necessarily. Oh, but there is a name of Soviet world and other things where I guess where there's not enough business for everybody. So once I have one store, you can't open up another store with competition. So we had somebody else. But one's had a business, and the guy opened up a similar business. He went over to them and told him, I have. So he told him, you're kaifa. Why are you kaifa? Why are you kaifa? Because I'm saving you with work. Right? You can make the same money anyway because it was already decided how much money you're going to make, right? So now you only have to work half as hard because I got another business here. So why you look how lucky you are. So I said, first of all, it's baloney anyway. What about next year? So this year. What about next year? What do you think? So yes, is any MS that is no. The but if you don't do ishtadlus in getting it, you have to do ishtadlus. Okay. My ishtadlus is I want to be this type of a store. Right? That's what I mean. And it's doing the job. You come in as a competition. For me to make the same money, my store now has to sell different things. I don't want to do that. That's not so. I'm not taking my promise. If I put in the I'll get my money. But I don't want to do that job. You're forcing me to do a job I don't want to do. That's our service. It's a different way of looking at it. Then it tells you about Aiden's reign. And there's two of them, there's two Raz here, it says over here, I want to thank you. Normally, I wanted the Chiddush of it, but why you need two, and what the point of it is, why you need two Raz. We have our picture, I think, of Aiden's Simon, is usually the mafia wants to get rid of somebody, right? The mice of Achov. And Isabel put up with some guys to kill what's his name. Right? I want what you got. So I want to get rid of you. How do I get rid of you? So I can put false witnesses. I want to get rid of you. So if I had the world to show you, what do you call it? I think that we all understand you can't be made to in your life. What about, there's a guy standing dressed like a Fumiyid, standing right in the yeshiva and selling dope to the kids. Right? Almost time. I forgot. 1 o'clock. So I remember this. And he's selling dope to the kids. Right? So, we try to catch him, and somehow this guy's such a sly guy. Whatever the cops come, he's gone. He's this. He never has anything on him. His mom is like, how we get rid of him? But we all know that he's the guy. I mean, don't ask me how we all know that if we'd ever catch him. But I'm saying, but somehow we know. Okay, he's the guy. So we got the simplest way to do it: put 2 witnesses on, tell him that he's there, and call the Shabbos, not kill him. And then we'll save we'll save him. Right? So we'll be Shem Shemayim. Let's listen to our cup. They think that. Not allowed to do it. It's a God. It's in there, and it's wrong. The concept that there's a God in the world, the God they found the union of the Teyelus, whatever that means. But I'm not telling you the halachas now. But the Teyelus allowed to. The fact is, but the Teyelus has 5 tournaments. Even if I don't have, but I mean to hurt you, and I mean all these things, it didn't take away the Teyelus. It's still Teyelus. Right? So why am I supposed to? Why am I not allowed to say it? Because there is a God in the world. The very sure you don't have to worry. When it's also for you to do something, it's my problem, not yours. You don't have to worry about it. That's what the Beniman is saying. Have a good Shabbos, everybody.